FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, good morning on this Monday. Boy, we got lots going on here in Tampa Bay. Lots to get to today. We got the Lightning going for a three-peat tonight against Toronto, up in Toronto. Greg Wolf is going to join us to give us all the inside scoop on the watch parties tonight. We got a bunch of them going on, but the main one is down at Sparkman Wharf, so Greg Wolf will join us. Also at 10:30, Micah McFadden's going to join us. He played at Plant High School and was drafted by the Giants in the 5th round, so we're going to kind of get a feel of what it's like to grow up in Tampa Bay and get drafted in the NFL, 5th round to the Giants. He played at Indiana as a linebacker, was their leading tackler for 3 years, their MVP the last 2 seasons. So we'll talk about his journey to the NFL and what that means. I mean, for every high school player here in the local area, that's the goal, right? That's the goal to finally get there. And it's whether you're a 5th round pick or a 1st round pick, and we had a few of them go from the area this weekend. It's a hell of a accomplishment, not only for the player, but for the family, the high school program, everybody. So we'll talk to Micah McFadden at 10:30. Will join us. So a lot to get to. The Rays had a dismal weekend, getting their ass kicked the last couple of days, 18-4 by the Twins the last 2 days. And when I thought was kind of a surprising move, Josh Lowe sent down to Durham when he was just actually starting to hit the ball. Got a home run this weekend, had 4 hits this weekend, and has been struggling mightily. But now when the rosters had to be decreased, they sent him down. I'm not saying it's a horrible idea, but it's just a little bit surprising. So we'll get into that a little bit. The Bucs obviously had a big weekend with the draft. We're going to go through all the draft picks. And, listen, nobody really knows what this draft class is all about, and everybody's going to say great things about it. I come away underwhelmed. And that's probably a good thing because it's not like the Bucs went for anything splashy or tried to, get a big name here or a big name there. It seems like they really, really stuck to their evaluations and their boards, filled some holes that they needed to fill, just in terms of depth. But it's not a sexy draft class at all. It's not sexy.
It didn't
Nick Geddes,
I don't think it needed to be
this
sexy.
morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Great morning, by the way, in Tampa Bay.
It is.
But it didn't need to be sexy. It wasn't sexy last year. It's not sexy this year. I trust the Bucs and this new.
A little sexy last year. Tryon was kind of that, he didn't play, but he was really good. And he's got a lot of upside. And he's like a really great athlete. So there was a little. I mean, it's just like
we'll get more.
Logan Hall is like,
we'll get more
Luke
into it a little bit.
Drives his tractor to school.
We'll
cool.
have a discussion about
that. He eats glass. I like that. Okay, but he's also a 220-pound tight end going to Wisconsin Stevens Point coming out of high school. Not exactly a 5-star, but people can grow into it. And if there's anybody we can trust with small school offensive linemen, it's Jason Licht.
I was going to say we'll get into it a lot more later. Don't get me wrong, but. Quick thing I will say on it, the Bucs, the shift, Joe Tryon, I don't think many people said 1st-round pick last year.
Mm-hmm.
Bucs trusted the board and took him in the 1st round. Same thing with a lot of guys in this board who you might go, was that too high or not?
Yeah.
But I trust Jason Licht, but we will get so much more into it because we have lots of thoughts.
They deserve it. They deserve that benefit of the doubt. But I'm just saying it didn't pop.
No, I mean,
when you take a punter in the 4th round, it doesn't pop, although that's a good pick. It seems to be a good pick.
Hey.
I mean, we said that about Aguayo, too. He had the best stats in the history of college football.
I was going to say, the day after the 2016 draft, the first 3-4 picks, I was excited. I was like, let's get the season going, baby.
Yeah.
Awful.
Worst draft ever.
Yeah.
So you just don't know. That being said, I still don't. I shouldn't say it's bad or underwhelming. It's just not sexy, but that's okay. That's good. We'll break it down.
Sexy doesn't win championships.
That's true. Maybe
Put
beauty contest, but not even that anymore. That sexy doesn't win champion.
No,
I kind of like that. So we'll get into all that stuff, but we want to begin with your Tampa Bay Lightning, baby. Be the Thunder. I'm excited. This is playoff hockey. This is, I think next to just my personal opinion, next to a big college football game, playoff hockey's my jam. I mean, it is that good. It is that the passion that's involved with these players, the effort that they play with on a night in and night out basis, the speed of the game, the skill of the game, the physicality of the game. It's just fantastic. When you in person, it's tremendous. Even on TV, it's pretty damn good. Can't wait. I can't wait for tonight. And a great matchup with Toronto, where there's history, obviously, with these two teams. I wouldn't say it's a crazy rivalry, but it's a good rivalry. I think it's good. I think we have a lot of familiarity with Toronto. This last game with the 165 minutes of penalties or whatever the hell it was, and the 8-1 romp by the Lightning, and I think it was more Toronto trying to tell the Lightning you're not gonna bully us around, when actually we did bully you around. So I think it's a very, very interesting series it sets up. They're the number 2 scoring team in the league. Obviously, they have Austin Matthews with the 60-goal season, the first since Stamkos did it. Their power play is ranked number 1 in the league. The Bolts' power penalty kill had not been great, but has been better late. That meant something. Sheldon Keefe, their coach, basically said this is going to be a borderline violent series. A borderline violent series. I like that. I think if in a physical series, the edge goes to the Lightning. But the biggest thing here to me is the mentals, as we would say. The mentals with Toronto are considerable. Brian Bradley talked about this last week. He played 2 years in Toronto, and he said the pressure on them to win this series against the Lightning is absolutely off the charts because of the season that they've had, the season that Austin Matthews has had, the fact that the Lightning are 2-time Cup winners, the fact that the Lightning have pretty much owned their ass for a while. They're tired of hearing about the Lightning, that's for damn sure. And this is the way to exercise all those demons. And I think that plays right into the Lightning's hands. But I think especially with the first 2 games up there in Toronto tonight and on Wednesday.
Yeah, I feel confident going into this series right now. I really do. And I didn't feel confident about the Lightning going to any series probably 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I would have told you we're looking at a quick playoff exit.
Yeah.
But the way they played the last 2 weeks and really turned it on, we've talked in length about Steven Stamkos, who continued that, by the way, in this season finale, getting a hat trick to end his season. How fitting is that?
Unbelievable.
And Sheldon Keefe, he said violent, that he thinks the Lightning lead the league in skirmishes after the whistle.
Really?
Which I think I have noticed that. There's a lot of skirmishes during a Lightning game. But, hey, what was the knock on the Lightning in 2018, 2019?
They didn't do that. It was Washington that brought that.
Bunch of soft European, you-know-what.
Yep.
And they changed their identity and brought guys in who are going to get physical. Nick Paul's another guy they brought in that said, yeah, I'm made for this brand of hockey. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And so that's what the Lightning bring, and I think that's why they're a much tougher team to play against now.
Yeah, they are. No question about it. That's been the deal to get them these back-to-back championships, that great mix of offensive skill and physicality. Do we have a little Sheldon Keefe there?
Yeah, I think I was looking for the soundbite that he had exactly. I think this is the one right here.
They're a team that's, they're going to be very physical. They're going to be very competitive. They're going to, in a lot of ways, when I look at their playoffs, especially in their first round last year, they definitely led the league in skirmishes off after the whistle and things that they're trying to do after the whistle and stuff like that. So there's all sorts of stuff. I expect it to be a very physical, borderline violent series in a lot of ways.
How about that? A lot of stuff after the whistle. He's setting it up. He's telling the refs, go out there and keep an eye out for that stuff. I mean, he's smart. He wants to get that number 1 power play on the ice and be a difference in this series. And the Lightning have to be very disciplined. They have to be physical, but they have to be disciplined. They got to stay out of the box. You do not want Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner and that group out there on the ice just taking shots at Vasi. You don't want it. Can't have it.
Yeah, and that's what we'd like to see. But I think this series is going to be very similar to what we saw last year in the first round against Florida. If you recall Game 1, which might be the greatest game of hockey maybe I've ever watched.
Unbelievable.
I would love to relive that again.
Unbelievable game.
I have a feeling we're going towards that with 2 teams like this who are not playing their best defensive hockey. They have questions in net right now going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is going to be wide open. It's going to be physical. I wouldn't be surprised if we have 100 penalty minutes in a few games like we had in that Florida series. And as a fan, you can't ask for anything better than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, Brian Embaum thinks it's going to be a high-scoring series. He thinks it's going to be 6-5, 4-3 games.
Yeah, I do too.
Lots of them. Fine with me. I'm good with that. And that's the thing about the Lightning. They can, but here's the thing. I think is the difference in the series. I think if the Lightning get a lead late, they can hold it. I don't think Toronto can. The Lightning know how to close out games. It's just been their secret sauce for the last couple of years. When they get a lead, especially late in the third, they've been able to shut down their opponent and limit them to 4 to 6 shots in the third period. They just know how to close games, and that's a huge skill to have, and it's a reason why they've won back-to-back cups. So, get that lead. Getting a lead early obviously is great. You want to put that doubt in Toronto's mind and let them really start, getting that sphincter all nice and tight with those fans. If Lightning come out and score early, they're going to, those fans are going to start getting on them.
Yeah. But like I said when we were talking with the Bucs, the same thing applies here. Sexy doesn't win championships.
Right.
And when it's a matchup like this with two teams who are very similar, the NHL playoffs, they reward defense, grit, and great goaltending.
Yep.
If I'm going to pick which team's going to give me that advantage, Lightning.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know who's going to be in net for Toronto. If I have to decide if it's going to be Jack Campbell or if it's going to be the rookie Eric Kallgren, which God bless him.
Yeah.
Have fun with that.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about Vasilevsky. He's going to be in net. I want him to be better, but I think he's going to turn it on.
Well, it won't be Kallgren. I can't see him putting him in after what happened here, 8-1.
Ooh, I don't know.
Huh?
Jack Campbell's played a little bit better down the stretch. I'm assuming he'll probably get it, but it might be the situation like we saw last year in Carolina where they get the quick hook going.
Yeah. Good. If you got two, you got none. Right?
Yeah,
Just
that's
like
the way I
quarterbacks.
look at it.
Just like quarterbacks. All right, let's hear from John Cooper. The Lightning went right from the Islanders game Friday night to Toronto, which I thought was interesting. They're well prepared. And I also thought it was interesting about, how when they needed to turn it on against the Islanders to make sure they played Toronto, they did. That's what this team does. Let's hear from Coop.
And gosh, I remember where we were spraying the champagne, and the picture is a great picture we took with Yzerman, Verbeek, Brisebois, myself, the staff with the Calder Cup. It was, I don't know, I love being here. I guess I'll have to leave it at that. The stanchion. Costa's corner. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what won the Calder Cup in that building.
Well, it's probably a little shocking that we've not met, not in my tenure here. So you've met other teams in our division multiple times, and this is a first for us. Probably a long time coming. Two similar teams that have been near top of the standings for a number of years now, and I think it's good for hockey. I think this is two established franchises that have been at the top of their game for a decade now or so, and it's about time we met in the playoffs.
I think fans are expecting that this is going to be high scoring, lots of flash dazzle. You got stars of the game are going to be on the ice. Is that fair to expect, or might we see more of a defensive battle? I know you don't know.
You don't know, but a playoff series, when you play a team a certain amount of times, one of the games is bound to be like that. I don't expect the series to be like that, though. The Leafs they play a sound game at both ends of the ice. I hope to say we do too. You know how it is in the playoffs. Usually take it one penalty off the board aside, and it's not because there's a big misnomer out there that the refs put the whistles away. That's not what happens. The players get smarter, and they get more. The players play the game not to take penalties because they know how important power plays are, and vice versa. So that's why I give the refs credit there. They're looking for the same calls. Players are just more disciplined during this. So you're going to take a few power plays off the side. Comes down to on 5. Whoever's team game's rolling the best and probably stays a little bit more disciplined will have a little bit more of an edge.
Ready to go?
What's that?
Point Ruda ready to go?
Yeah, everybody's ready to go.
What you just said, Sheldon Keefe said he's expecting a physical, borderline violent series here, and he's looking at Simmons and Clifford likely playing game one. How do you feel like that kind of style suits your group?
I don't know. we've kind of been through all the wars. Just rewind the tape to last year at this time when we played Florida. It was, I always described it, it was two cars going 100 miles an hour right at each other, and it was who's going to flinch first. But the first round is always chaos. It's organized chaos. And the guys are pumped up. Everybody's jacked. Usually the teams are somewhat healthy, or as healthy they're going to be in the playoffs. And so you get whatever that extra 5 or 10% you have inside you, you get it in the playoffs. Everybody's, how do I say, like, their determination goes up, their want to win. And what did he say? What was the word he used? Borderline violence. Well, I think guys have a lot more courage. So if that's what makes them that way, but it should be fun. Like, let's take a step away from that and just start going through, you know, Kucherov, Matthews, and Stamkos, and Marner, and Point, and Nylander, Tavares, and then you start going the back end, and it's like, these are like the stars of the game. And so I hope people appreciate that, what these guys are going to do and the war they're going to go through, and it should be a lot of fun.
They have to get over the hump. You know, as talented as they are, they've never been able to get over that first hump. What did it mean? And I mean, for this group, I mean, obviously you've been to the conference final before, but going through what you did against Columbus, and more importantly, the way that you reacted the next year to understand what it took.
Yeah, that probably comes with some of the fact that we've all been together before. And so knee-jerk reactions are not a staple of our organization. Did we have to tweak some things? And did we have to tweak what thing that needed tweaking the most, what was between our ears? And we had to check our egos at the door. We'd pretty much hit every record you could possibly hit. When you win 62 games in a season and you get swept, what's the first word that, you know, comes to mind? It was embarrassing. And so you look yourself in the mirror and say, do we really want this to happen? We have a group to do this, but this is what it takes. Go rewind tapes of teams that won Stanley Cups and see what they look like after a playoff series. That's what we needed to look like. And the boys took it to heart, and give them all the credit. I'm just the guy that stands there. Those are the guys that have to go do all the work, and they made the commitment, and I guess we haven't lost since.
Yep, have not lost a series since, and Toronto has not won a series since 2004. 2004. You talk about getting over the hump. Eventually they will. Let's just hope it's not this series against the Lightning. Even though they're favored, Vegas has them favored. I'm putting my money on the Lightning all the way. Lightning in 6.
Yeah, I think if you can steal.
By the way, of course, I have to do this.
What? Go ahead.
Paid advertising. We called every series last year to the game.
That's true.
We did.
That's true.
Every series to the game. Lightning in 6.
Lightning in 6. Huh?
Bank it.
I'm trying to think here.
Lightning in 6.
Lightning in 6. I think Tampa steals one in game 1 tonight.
I do.
Like they split in Toronto.
Yep.
I think they split 3 and 4 Tampa.
I'm
going to go 7. I'm going to be a little bit more generous to Toronto. I'm going to go 7.
Nah, 6. We don't want to go back there. No way. Do not want to go back there.
I would love to go back there.
Oh,
win it there.
Steal it on there.
Oh my gosh.
It'd be nice.
And have Stamkos score the game winner.
Oh, you're so
Let's start
mean.
manifesting. Let's go.
You're so mean. No, I like doing it at home. Nice and big celebration at home. Yeah, I love it. All right. So we will talk with Greg Wolf at 11 o'clock, and we'll get a little feel for what's going on with the watch parties tonight at Sparkman Wharf and get you all that stuff. All right, let's transition to, you want to do Rays next or Bucs? I'm kind of iffy on which way do we go. The Rays have me depressed. That was beat down city. Dare I say the Twins went to pound town on us this weekend. 18-4 in the last couple of days. I mean, the pitching obviously has been something that we really hang our hat on in the defense. And again, I think this team is in the 20s in defense right now. The pitching after this weekend is not. I've said this from the beginning. It looks like a team that's a little bit over 500 unless they make some major changes, and sending Josh Lowe down as Austin Meadows is hitting .328 with 11 RBIs. Went 3 for 4 off Clayton Kershaw on Saturday to lead the Tigers to a win. Hey, but Isaac Paredes is up.
He is.
Went 1 for 4 yesterday.
He is.
Who would you rather have in the lineup, Austin Meadows or Isaac Paredes?
I mean, clearly, I'd rather have Austin Meadows.
Yes,
in the lineup
of course you would.
Bit, like
of course you would.
None of this really surprises me. Like we said before, when all the Rays fans were saying this was a move to get Josh Lowe up here, I got the point.
Yes.
I didn't have to agree with the point. Did I have to agree with the point?
No, I don't have to agree with
this
anything.
fan base, for whatever reason, they're fans on social media. You have to agree with everything, or you're just behind the times.
Eric
you
Neander
don't get it.
Makes no mistakes. He's made
You
no
don't
mistakes.
get it.
None whatsoever.
They're
They're perfect on field.
I read all your underlying numbers. I see it. They're facts. I got it. Respect for going to find those numbers, by the way, so I don't have to go dig myself. I love that.
I didn't have to go too far to see 106 RBIs.
Yeah, I didn't have to. If I could turn it around on a baseball card, that's good enough for me. That's good enough.
A Major League Baseball card, by the way.
But I digress. None of this surprises me. I told you Josh Lowe, and I looked like I was rooting for this to happen.
Yeah.
But today I will sit here and tell you there was going to be growing pains for Josh Lowe.
No, he's going to come right in. Like, no.
He's going to be just as good as Meadows, better, more valuable.
Absolutely, yeah.
He might be that, okay? I'm not sure.
And I don't know why, but in Detroit, they think he's a fine defensive player. They think he's really good. I don't know what. I don't know where.
Defense is not that great.
It's not great, but it's not horrible.
Yeah,
it's not horrible.
I got it. I got
For
it.
a guy that knocks in 106, it's not horrible.
My argument there is, does everybody have to be great at defense?
By the way, this is not a good defensive team, and it can't hit either.
And it's weird. Like Taylor Walls, for whatever reason, he's hitting good now, but hits defensively, I don't know what's wrong with him right now.
Well, he makes a spectacular play, but then doesn't make the routine play.
Yeah, but that seems to be his MO. Yeah, I'm just looking at the team right now. Josh Lowe goes to the minors, and listen, we talked about this last week with Doug and Rich that this is all new to him, right?
Yeah,
and we mentioned that maybe he needed to go down, and the rosters went down to 26, so somebody had to go.
Right.
I just thought it was a little odd of timing, only because he had the 4-game hitting streak. He got his first home run. He mashed one to dead center.
I know.
I thought he was kind of coming around. Clearly, they love him so much, he was in the cleanup order. I don't think I've ever seen, if somebody out there, a stat guru, wants to tell me the last time somebody batted cleanup and then was sent down a few hours after. Yeah, I'd love to know when that happened. Well, interesting. But clearly, they want to see Isaac Paredes. I think that's what it was more about. Now they want to get Isaac going. Maybe he has better luck up here because he's been up here a little bit. Josh Lowe gets himself going, and they come up, and they're a better team. I hope that happens. And the Rays, with all this, the Rays are 12-11. And Doug said last week, good teams find a way to win games when they're not going well.
Right.
And the Rays are not going well right now, offensively.
No, they're not. I just look at the team as a whole, and I just don't see, where the consistent offense is going to come from. So you better be damn good in the pitching and defense department, and they haven't been.
I think they've been good in the pitching. I think the Fleming outings are concerning at this point.
Very
concerning. I think only really when Fleming's in there is when it's blown up, I think.
And he did 8 of those runs were unearned.
Yeah, but that was that one. But yesterday, not great. They had to go to Robert Duggar, who that totally passed me by. I don't recall him coming up, but he again was the sacrificial lamb yesterday. But he wasn't awful, I don't think.
No,
he had some good stuff. But
and Shane McClanahan just continues to be snake bit. He just continues to be snake bit. He's throwing so well and getting nothing out of it. I mean, another good outing. Although he is giving up home runs. And that's a little disturbing, but for the most part, he's just dominant. He had his career high, 11 strikeouts the other day. It's like he makes 1 or 2 mistakes a game, and they get popped. He's had really bad luck.
Well,
he could easily be 4-0, and he's 1-3.
Yeah, the offense has not been great in his outings.
He gets no support.
That's number one.
Zero.
Number 2, Kevin Cash kind of went against the grain for himself. He sent McClanahan back out there in the 6th inning.
Yeah,
and I think we were all expecting. Maybe you could. I mean, I always like to say if a guy's going well, keep him out there.
Yeah.
But it's the Rays' MO usually to
not let him go third time through. Yeah,
third time through, and it bit them in the ass. And I'm assuming that Kevin Cash is probably not going to do that again unless he's 100% confident in it.
No, and we've all been saying, if he's mowing people down like that, let him go.
Let him go. And they did it that last outing before where he went 7.
Right, but when he got to 85, he was done.
Yeah. You could tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you look at like Brandon Lau, for example, who I'm sure he's going to get it going. He always struggles in April. I say this April slump to me is a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know how Kevin Cash can continue to put him in the leadoff spot is what's concerning me. He cannot be a leadoff better.
I don't get that.
I mean, at what point does Kevin Cash say, I need somebody who can get on base?
He's not a leadoff guy.
No, he's a big bopper. He needs
not his
in
MO.
this lineup, he's a cleanup hitter.
Yeah, and I think that's unsettling for him.
I think so too, especially when he's struggling. It's like he's thinking, like, I have to get on base. You can't put Randy in there now.
No. Well, he did have a couple
yesterday.
doubles yesterday, but he was 2 for 29 before that, and he's swinging at anything and everything.
That's a problem with everybody. I think even Wander. I can't just come up here and say Wander's playing great baseball right now. And I whenever Doug said he's starting to press a little and he's not having that same good approach, I paid attention to that this week. He is a sucker for the high fastball and over his head. And that's where his problem is right now. He is definitely free swinging at everything right now.
And I think a lot of it is because he thinks that he has to do it all. You know, there's nobody behind him. There's no big bopper in the lineup that's protecting him. And he's not going to see a lot of good pitches. So I think he's getting over anxious, trying to do too much with bad pitches. It's like Doug said, or Doug or Rich, I forget who it was, said you got to take your walks. And this time when nobody's around you and they're going to walk you and going to give you quality pitches, you got to just take your walks. And it's got to be a super hard thing for him to do as a productive player, what he hopes to be a productive RBI guy. It's hard to do.
Yeah. And right now, my level of concern for the Rays is the fact that the schedule, they are going straight out west now. Yep. Oakland, Seattle, Los Angeles. The Rays are not good on these West Coast trips. The first two teams obviously have been a pain in their ass already this season.
It could get ugly.
It's not in the Yankees. We talked about my division. The Yankees are streaking. They're 16-6 now.
Yep.
Toronto hasn't lost a series. And it's about, I know it's early. Okay, but you gotta. It's
getting late early.
It's getting late. It's getting late early.
As Jokey would say.
And you gotta stay in realm of what New York's doing and what Toronto's doing. Yep. And so the Rays, this is gut check time, I think, for this next 3 games, 4 game, 10-game stand right here.
The Yankees keep streaking and we keep playing uneven ball. By the time we get back from the West Coast, we could be 12 games behind, 10 games behind.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot. I know it's a long season ahead, but that's a lot.
Yeah.
So, we've been waiting for this. And is this going to be the year it doesn't work? It's because we're so used to this team winning 90 games, and that's not been this team's history consistently. It has been lately, you think the Trop is empty when we win 90 games. Wait till it gets really crappy.
Yeah, I was going to say, by the way, the Trop so far, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights or Sundays are doing really damn well.
Well, it's always done well on the weekends.
But it seems a little bit more this year.
Oh, I don't think there's any question about it. It's always done well on the weekends. Yeah, it just has, and and that just underscores that it's location. That's the biggest problem with this thing. We're not getting into that. Trust me on that. All right, we're going to get into the Bucs a little bit later on. Again, just a quick comment. This is one of those drafts that is just somewhat underwhelming. It's not super sexy. There's no great receiver in the draft. No, even the running back Rashad White too. They took out of Arizona State. I was watching some tape of him, and I want to call him I don't know. He doesn't seem super special, but I'm from a character standpoint, and numbers are really, really good. It seems like a really safe pick, but I don't see the explosion. I don't see I don't know.
Here, you know what I took away from this draft, and this is what I actually like about what Jason Licht has done. He drafted a bunch of guys who came into college far from any NFL aspirations.
Yeah.
And Logan Hall came in at 220 pounds. I saw you talk to him about that.
Yeah.
285 is what he ended up as now. Made himself an NFL player, worked his ass off to get to the NFL. Luke Kadecki, we are 220 pound tight end when he got to whatever, what was it?
Wisconsin Stevens Point, a D3 school, walks on at 220 pounds as a tight end.
Yeah.
And then Central Mid put 60 pounds on him and make him into, or 80 pounds or whatever, make him into a decent offensive tackle, and they're going to move him to guard. It's not the pedigree of a great offensive lineman. It's just not. But neither was Ali Marpet. Neither was Alex Kappa.
That's why, that's why I like the pick. And he's nasty. He's nasty. He looks kind of, you put on that offensive line, you're like, ooh, ugly. That's what I like out of my offensive lineman. So,
I was asking him questions at the press conference over Zoom the other day, and it was, I said, you're known to talk trash and be a nasty player. That was the scouting report. Are you?
That was Logan Hall. Right?
Logan Hall. Yeah, Logan Hall. But Luke is very much the same way. Like he calls himself a glass eater. And
I was sold right then and there.
But he looks like Pillsbury Doughboy. He's just like a big lunky Wisconsin, offensive lineman. That's kind of what you want.
Sexy doesn't win
It
championships.
ain't sexy at all.
I'm telling you,
he drives his tractor to school.
And go turn on the tape. I haven't watched any of his tape yet. Go watch the LSU game. Go watch him against LSU.
Yeah. Okay.
Bullied him. LSU.
That's what we need.
Who had 10 players drafted.
Yeah. That's the kind, and that's the attitude you like. I love guys that have a chip on their shoulder,
and that's the theme.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. That's the theme. Rashad White's the same guy.
Yeah,
he 2 years just at Arizona State became a 1,000 all-purpose guy that can do everything. Block as well. Who they love. Got him in there. The guy from Sam Houston State.
Zion McCallum.
Sam Houston State.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just picking guy. The other tight end, the one they took in the 6th round, who also said I can get as dirty as anybody in the dirt. I mean, that's the theme.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. So we'll get to that a little bit later on in the show. Coming up next, Micah McFadden was a Plant High School first team all-stater, went to Indiana, became their team MVP. Now he's a member of the New York Giants. We'll talk about his journey to the NFL when we come back. The health professionals at Bay Area Modern Medical Center want you to know it's time to commit to a new healthy lifestyle. It's literally a matter of life and death. 42% of Americans are considered obese, and being obese made you 3 times more likely to be hospitalized by COVID. So getting in shape is not just about looking better, it's about living much longer. Bay Area Modern Medical Center, they take a very different approach to primary care. It's personalized preventative medicine. Christopher Lugo and his experienced staff are proactive in looking at your issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle, building up your immune system, not destroying it with poor nutrition and bad habits. So call for an appointment, maybe change your primary care, and get on a journey back to full health and a happy life. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling. 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. If you purchased a home in the last 10 years and the stucco is starting to come loose from the upstairs portion, well, that can cause some serious damage that you can't see until it's too late. Is it becoming an eyesore? Have you contacted the builder and just can't get any relief? That's very common here in Florida. So call the law offices of Christopher Palermo. They can help you. Call 813-221-5636. That's 813-221-5636. He's recovered millions for his clients. The law offices of Christopher Palermo at PalermoPA.com. The world economy is in chaos, and mortgage rates are going to go higher in the next few months. Meanwhile, home values are up 24% in some neighborhoods of Tampa Bay. Do not miss this opportunity to refinance your home, get some much-needed cash to handle skyrocketing inflation, and fill up your car. Contact Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. Even if you've recently refinanced, Scott can make the deal work because he charges no lender fees like the big boys do. He will also shop your loan around to dozens of lenders and get the best rates and terms. Let them compete for your business. The big banks charge huge lending fees. Customer service is simply a phone number with endless wait times. Scott is local and will personally take your call. Here's his cell phone number. Tell him JP said you could call. 813-294-7595. Scott's done over 3,000 loans, including many coaches and athletes. He will answer your calls and concerns and give you workable strategies to be smart with your money. Reduce your payments. It's not just what you make, it's what you keep. 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Italiano Insurance has been serving and working in our community for over 60 years, and it's not just about insuring all the pieces of your life. Italiano is as much a part of Tampa Bay as the Cuban sandwich, Gasparilla, and our Bucs, Lightning, and Rays. They're also active supporters of great charities like the Humane Society, Metropolitan Ministries, and local pediatric cancer centers. Hey, we all need insurance. So do business with a local company with a commitment to our community. Don't call some 1-800 number. Call Italiano and be greeted by one of your neighbors. That's 813-877-7799 or ItalianoInsurance.com. Named the Small Business of the Year by the Tampa Chamber. 813-877-7799. Cryptocurrency is all the rage today. The market cap for the industry is now over $1 trillion. And you read about people making millions of dollars, right? You want to get in, but have no idea what to do? Or maybe you dabbled a bit and you want to unlock the real money-making opportunities and don't know how to do it. There are over 10,000 tokens and thousands of decentralized finance exchanges to navigate. So what do? You go to DeFiLava.com. The folks at DeFiLava.com are in Tampa Bay, and they work with you directly to set up custom accounts, answer all your questions, and provide market analysis. Decentralized finance and cryptocurrencies are here to stay and will change the financial markets as we know them. Get in the game. Get with the experts at DeFiLava.com and tell them JP sent you and get their free 2022 crypto market forecast today at DeFiLava.com. Don't get left behind, folks. Make some money at DeFiLava.com.
Coming back at you. Now, more with JP on FanStream Sports. Only just begun.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. Do you have any issues with your construction, residential or commercial? We got a lot of supply chain issues going on right now, and a lot of these builders are taking shortcuts to get things done. I get it, but it doesn't have to be on your particular project, right? So if you have any issues or think you have some issues, just give Christopher Palermo a call. You can find all this contact information at palermopa.com. There's a lot of builders that have been using this defective stucco material, and there's a lot of homes that have sustained a lot of damage, especially on the upper floors. If it's just a frame upper floor, which is what a lot of builders did, you get those cracks in the stucco, and then the water gets in there, gets into the boards, rots them out. You get mold. It's a bad deal. And you don't know it until maybe 3-4 years down the line. So Christopher Palermo has experts that can figure all this stuff out. If you don't have to think you have a case, just call him. It's a free call. He'll let you know if you have a case or not, or at least take you through the steps. And that's all you need to know. Don't get caught, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, because the builder will tell you that the cracks in the stucco are just settling and it's fine. Yeah, it's not fine. You have a case, PalermoPA.com. All right, we're working on reaching Micah McFadden. We will continue to effort him, as we say in the business. And as soon as we get him on, we will get him on. But in the meantime, we'll listen to Jason Licht talk about his draft picks. And Logan Hall at the top of the second round. Friday night, I was over there at One Buck Place, and of course, the big question was, what kind of offers did you get for that 33rd pick? Because I thought someone would be coming up to get Malik Willis, and evidently he just wasn't that, I guess, desirable for a lot of teams. He goes later in the third round to the Titans, which was interesting. It's going to be interesting. I don't know if there'll be an open competition with Ryan Tannehill, but
what's the point of having Tannehill around when you got nobody for him to throw to? And
yeah,
and
don't get that.
Don't get it one bit. I'm proud of NFL teams though today on a Monday. I'm proud
for not overdrafting the quarterbacks.
Overdrafting these quarterbacks.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Yeah, I was shocked by that. I really was. I think Mel Kiper was, and I think a lot of the draft experts were. Very, very, and it'll be interesting to see what these quarterbacks do. I mean, Kenny Pickett obviously is going to a good organization in the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have weapons. He has a great chance to succeed, as most quarterbacks don't. And Willis too, going to the Titans if he gets a chance to play.
But you know what the NFL told you, right, during this draft process? Apparently they had Kenny Pickett as the highest guy, right? The number 2 guy, like I said, Mr. Desmond Ridder.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Size matters.
Yeah.
Size matters.
Yeah.
Winning games matters.
Yeah.
And he was the second quarterback off the board, lands in a perfect situation in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what we learned, is that the little, I guess, project Malik Willis, Matt Corral, another guy who's probably a project undersized.
Yeah.
Go with the guy who's won the most games and has the best look.
Yeah.
And that's Desmond Ridder.
And Corral goes to the Panthers, right?
Panthers, yes.
So we could see Desmond Ridder and Corral in this in this division starting this year.
We could. Yeah.
That'll be an interesting thing to follow. All right, so let's start with Jason Licht chatting on I guess this was Friday night. The first big question was is Gronk coming back?
No, I'm still giving him that time. We still talk. I think it didn't matter if we drafted 2 tight ends, it wouldn't matter. I think Rob welcomes that. He likes having the more the merrier for him. So I don't think it had anything that doesn't show our hand on or foretell what's going to happen in the future.
And this was on Friday night, and they went ahead and took 2 tight ends this weekend.
Yeah. Did you see Gronk, by the way, this weekend in Vegas?
At Gronk Beach?
Oh, my gosh.
Saw a little bit of that on social.
Classic Gronk.
Yeah. He's having a good time.
Doing like the twerking and everything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think it was Camille that was slapping him on the.
Oh, well, let's hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah. He looks like he's in good shape. He's ready to go.
Yeah. You know who looks in good shape? Daddy Gronk.
Yeah.
You see him?
Oh, he's a big man.
That dude's a beast.
Growing up Gronk. Love that show. Well, look, Gronk is, as far as I'm concerned, get it all out. Have your fun. Party. Get it all out. And then come, July, when it's time to come to training camp, come to training camp.
Yeah. And they
You
did
don't need any offseason BS.
No.
Doesn't have to be like changing his shirts for his workouts to make it look like he's working out every day like he did last year.
But I started thinking about it. The Bucs drafted 2 tight ends, K-Dot out of Washington.
Yep.
And then his name already escapes me. Oh, hold up.
The 7th round guy.
The 6th round guy. Hold up.
Hold
up. O'Keefe, who in 4 years at Minnesota, 12 catches.
Yeah.
So you already know what his role is.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you got a chance to see this guy during his draft party. I'll show you right here on my phone. Look at this guy. This is what we found out. Look at this. Is this not the most Midwest thing you've seen before?
Sitting in his garage.
They're all sitting in their garage with Coors Lights.
Yeah.
He's wearing just like sandals and a t-shirt. Look at the beard.
Yeah.
And that's how he finds out. And look at them all going crazy inside a garage.
That's awesome.
That right there is football.
That's awesome.
That's football. Everybody else
solo cups everywhere.
Yeah, everybody else is sitting in there with suits on. They got their whole brigade in this nice house that their agent probably Airbnb'd for them.
No, that's Minnesota.
This is Minnesota.
Yeah.
So the second I saw this, I was like, I love this guy.
Yeah.
I love this guy. I bet he'll be a pretty interesting cat to get to know while he's here. And being the blocking, this is like my theory I was telling you about the tight ends. Cam Brate, if Gronk comes back and now you have 4 tight ends in this room, and assuming you keep the 2, you keep Otten, who definitely is going to be on this roster. He's the guy that has the more potential to be a pass catching guy.
Yeah.
O'Keefe obviously is just going to get his hand in the dirt. Maybe if Gronk's coming back for one more year and he's concerned about his health, you go get 2 guys who are the best run blocking tight ends.
Yeah.
Pass blocking tight ends in the draft. Maybe you tell Gronk, hey, you don't even have to be out here majority of the time blocking now.
Yeah.
Because we got 2 guys who can do it.
Yeah,
he'll be out there, but we got 2 guys who can help.
Value is his versatility. You don't know whether he's going to run, he's going to be pass blocking or run blocking or going out for a receipt, going out on a pattern. So, these guys obviously, what's interesting to me is that they may use him as a fullback. Of course, that's
Alan
not
Cross is who I thought of actually when I saw him.
Yeah, and look at and of course, Arians doesn't have a fullback in his offense, never has. But this is no longer the offense. This is the Brady offense. The Brady Twitch offense, which is one of the reasons that Arians went upstairs, because he knew that his offense is kind of it's been, I want to say bastardized. That's got a negative connotation to it, but it's just morphed into what Brady likes to do. And that's sometimes have a fullback in there.
Yeah, he had James Devlin comes to mind of other Patriots. And there's other Patriots. Michael Huamanui, I think was his name.
And the rugby guy I forget his name.
Vital. Dan Vital.
Vitali. No.
That's who the Bucs drafted.
Yeah, he drafted. Yeah, and he ended up there. But also, God, I forget his name. Anyway,
the point is he loves his fullbacks.
Yeah, it definitely has some fullbacks. All right, let's do a little bit more Jason Licht here, talking about the pass rush skills of one Logan Hall.
Well, we think with Logan, we think he can play the 5, the 4, and the 3 technique. We think that he rushes very well inside, and that's what probably piqued our interest the most. His value in the passing game is 3 technique. So he's got, a lot of natural ability. He's got a lot of room for improvement, just like all these guys. But I would say his rushing skills, his from the inside, is what we like the most.
Well, that's going to help tremendously with Vita Vea obviously taking up 2 people. He's going to be, one-on-one against hopefully the weakest of the offensive linemen inside the interior, and go get him. Go get him, young man. We did get a chance to ask him a couple questions. We'll hear that in a second. Or actually, we could probably play that right now while we're on Hall. Let's do the on his bully mentality, number 15. I asked him this question.
The scouting reports, you seem like such a nice young man, but the scouting report says you have a bully mentality and you like to talk a little trash. Would you say that's true? And maybe could you give us some of your better material?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I'm a nice guy too, but definitely on the field, I flip that switch. You got to have different mentality living inside those trenches. So I flip the switch pretty quick. But no, I would say I'm a big trash talker. I try and conserve my energy. I don't waste air on talking. But I definitely play, with the bully mentality, and I try and finish people.
I like that. It was funny. He was on a Zoom call. We were doing this interview, and he had a green screen behind him.
I saw that, yeah.
With the picture of himself in the green screen. That was his green screen playing, I guess. And he kept fading in and out. Half of his face would disappear, and it was just kind of bizarre. It looked like a bad MTV video from the 80s. But that's our modern day press conferences now.
I was going to say, I think all the people in the media are all sitting in one room. And what was it like? Hey, you want to come up, ask a question?
Yeah.
And you just come to the front of the room.
Just come to the front of the room, and they hand you the mic, and you ask the question. There's a camera there, so he can see you for whatever reason. That's that he wants to see us.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't want to see your mug.
No, hell no.
He had to see it twice too.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
So I asked him another question here about being Brady's teammate, which is kind of cool.
By law, someone has to ask this question. So are you looking forward to meeting Tom Brady and being his teammate?
Man, I'm so fired up. You have no idea. I've been watching that guy play my entire life. So, actually I went on, I told you about that top 30 visit, and I got to go see his locker, man, and I was fangirling so hard. It was unreal. So to be able to meet him in person and learn things from him, I'm really fired up. So
I'm sure Tom probably texted him by now.
Oh, he hasn't earned the number yet.
He hasn't earned the
number yet.
Oh, I wonder if Tom texts the rookie draft picks. I bet he does. He should.
He should.
Not should. I should take that back. I mean, draft. I mean, half these guys aren't going to make the team.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. So who knows?
He doesn't even know who Logan Hall is. Let's be honest.
He does not.
He does not. But I thought, though, when you asked that question, you saw how every other answer he gave, he kind of had one tone, and the second he kind of lit up like, oh, Tom Brady, yeah. And I kind of think of it like that. Like, this is already weird. This is my weird moment of being in life. These guys are now as old as me.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at them, and they look like they're way older than me, but we're the same age. And this is like me walking into this room being like, I'm playing with Tom Brady. And
it's crazy.
I'd be like, what the heck?
Yeah.
No way.
Well, we asked the same thing of Luke Gadecki, because he's going to move inside, may play some center as well. So he's going to get intimate with old Tom Brady.
Intimate with Tom Brady.
He's going to have his hand on his ass if he's playing center. Yeah, So better get ready. Get that talcum powder ready. Lots of powder. It's the way he likes it. Let's do number 5. Was there a demand for that 33rd pick? I was surprised that the Bucs did not trade down, to be quite honest with you, but let's hear that answer.
Well, our chef Tracy put together a great buffet, so that's how the day started. We had a lot of calls. We had a lot of people wanting to come up. Wanted to make sure that it had to be right. I want to, the limited number of defensive linemen in this year's draft. Thought there was going to be a potential to be a run because of the premium position. So I didn't want to go too far back. Didn't have a lot of action in moving back, 2, 3, 4 spots. Even that would have made me a little nervous. Did have a lot of calls. I think Greg was the one that tweeted out. We saw it today that only 2 trades out of 33 in the last 20 years. So it's not as many trades as you would think. That shocked me when I saw that too. But we had a lot of calls, but only really a couple offers.
That's interesting, and I wonder, if Seattle called with 41-2, I think the Bucs would probably have something back as well, and they just wanted to keep a variety of picks. And listen, this made sense to me as they said this as well, that there were 7 guys that they figured would be around at 27. I think they said 7, about that many. Guys like Lewis Seen, who went 32, blah, 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 blah. And so they felt that, they could trade back to 33 and still get one of those guys. And almost every guy that they wanted went at 27 or further. So Logan Hall was the only guy that they had on their board left that they would have taken at 27. So they didn't want, the offer was going to have to be really good. And you want to get a premium player. You got to get a premium player there. And they felt like they did. So I get that one.
Yeah,
I get that one.
And Greg Ahmed did. I think Jason had said that right there. That stat was that in the last 20 years, it's only happened twice.
Shocking
that a team has traded 33.
Yeah.
So clearly, he said we only had a few offers and probably getting lowballed maybe a little bit. Or Logan Hall was just their guy. I think that was just more what it was, and they didn't want to risk losing him.
Well, and not the other teams. I think are like I think they felt like Jason Licht that the value in this draft was 2nd to 4th round.
Yeah,
and you wanted to have as many picks as possible in that grouping. And so in order to give up another pick in that grouping, with the Bucs would have wanted, that's a big ask. So I get it. But now Logan Hall needs to produce. Now the last 2 years, the Bucs have basically drafted for pass rushing. I don't think Logan Hall would be considered a great run stopper, but he'll, you're playing next to Vita Vea. You don't have to be great, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll see how it works out. But I like the idea that they feel like they can get more pressure with this guy. He's going to give them a little extra something. And I think, unfortunately, I think this does say that Ndamukong Suh is not coming back. I don't know if they'll be able to afford him, because the thing about Ndamukong Suh is he likes those 1-year deals. They're not as easy to spread out over the cap hit.
Yeah, and I think we might get some clarity on that. You already saw the first dominoes falling with Tyrann Mathieu going to the Saints.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
It's a big
Honey
deal.
Badger goes to the Saints, in case you missed that one.
Yeah, the big deal. And I think now, because they said the compensatory, all that stuff is out the way. So there's a lot of free agents that are out there, a lot of veterans to be had. And I think you're going to see a lot of those coming off the board this week, and Ndamukong Suh included. I would love to see him come back, obviously, because it means that Logan Hall doesn't have to play majority of the snaps. And Ndamukong Suh, based on his mean streak and Logan Hall's mean streak, I kind of like that dynamic of them being in the same position group together. But like you said, I think even Stroud said today he thinks it's unlikely. So he's obviously very plugged in. So that would probably tell you something right there.
Let's go with number 7. What liked about Rachaad White out of Arizona State, the running back?
That was a big reason that we liked him and took him where we did. He's been very involved in that offense, in the passing game. He's got great hands. It's very important to him to be involved in the offense, in the passing game, and has a lot of pride in that. So whenever there's a lot of backs that are 2-down backs, when you have a 3-down back, you put them up a little bit higher on the board for us, especially in our offense. So I think it's going to be he's got a chance to be a big asset for us in that regard.
Well, this is definitely a shot across the bow of Sneak Vaughn, no doubt about it. One of those guys will probably not make the team, I would think.
No, they, like I said all the time,
they might keep both.
You're more higher on Sneak Vaughn than I think some people are.
Well, clearly the Bucs aren't that
high. The Bucs
high.
are not. They can say whatever they want about Keyshawn Vaughn, but there was no doubt they were taking a running back. And I'm sorry, he's the 4th man out. He's the 4th and final man on this team. It's going to stay that way.
Yeah. You got Fournette, you got Gio, you got Rachaad White, and I mean you can keep 4.
Yeah. And this answer right here, I want to play this one of him talking about Rachaad White's pass blocking.
Okay.
Shot at the bow of Rojo.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of these backs, I'd say most of them in college, you can pick them apart for their pass protection skills. It's kind of a lost art. And so they just, as long as they're willing, as long as they're smart, as long as they want to do it, you got a chance to make them better and work on their weaknesses in that regard at this level. So we saw that with him. We saw the passion. This guy's a really driven guy with a chip on his shoulder. So you have guys like that, you got a chance.
Well, it is a key. Yeah, and that's why Rojo's not around here. Many reasons. But, again, you're sacrificing dynamic running. Like, I think Dameon Pierce is a better runner than Rachaad White. I don't think it's close. But it's clear that's not what they were drafted for.
Yeah, and I think there still is some to this. And I mentioned this when we were talking about receivers, and I said Drake London being the first pick. Honestly, I haven't seen much of him play.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you I watched Rachaad White play in college. I didn't know who he was until Scott Reynolds mocked him in the draft, which, by the way, Pewter Report slammed like three of their first 4 picks. Best place for Bucs coverage, just saying. But this guy, I think, kind of plays into it. A lot of people probably haven't seen him play. They see Arizona State. They see all these other names around him that played in the SEC, like Dameon Pierce, like Isaiah Spiller.
Yep.
And you probably go, oh, my gosh, why did we pick him? I remember the Bucs the same thing when they took Ronald Jones. Darius Geis was on the board. Everybody's like, Darius Geis is coming to the Bucs because he played at LSU and whatever. Mm-hmm. They took Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones, for what his faults were, much better pick than Darius Geis.
Yeah.
And this might be the same situation. You just don't know.
All right, let's hear Light talk about Luke Gadecki. Let's do number 11 here, the offensive lineman out of Central Michigan who came to college football as a 220-pound tight end to Wisconsin Stevens Point, was not even recruited out of high school.
Well, he's a character now. He's all football. I think his hobbies are weightlifting, and it stops there. Maybe driving tractors. He's, all players are different. It's got a lot of similarities to when we took Alex Kappa. Alex Kappa came from a very small school. I wouldn't call Central Michigan a small school, but just very tough. He's a very good athlete. He's all business, a very smart player, got a big upside. I think we're going to put him in there at guard, let him compete there, but he could also play right tackle. He's all about football. And when you have smart guys that are just as passionate as he is, all of our picks that we had today are like that. You've got a really good chance to hit on a good player.
I'm surprised you didn't give me the Luke, I'm a glass eater soundbite. That was my favorite soundbite. And him saying that we had bring your tractor to school days. That's good stuff. Oh, you got it? You got that there?
Let me see if it's still in my archives here from last week.
Yeah.
1 second. Oh, here it is.
I love
this was our glass eater right here. I sent you this immediately. I was like, this is a Bucs pick. And you still didn't like him.
You said I'm a nasty guy on the field. Elaborate.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
So my field demeanor, I'm not a nice guy whatsoever. Like, I'm a straight up glass eater out there. Like, there's not much more joy I get out of than imposing my will on another grown man, just putting fear into his eyes for 4 quarters. Like, I'm just like, on the field, I'm a very violent guy looking to just friggin' throw you around into the dirt and make it known like I'm dominant over you.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty clear right there.
He didn't blink saying it.
He did not blink.
Not at a single expression change.
No.
I'm telling you.
He looks meaner in that interview than he did in our interview.
Look at those eyes.
Yeah.
You see those eyes?
He's got the crazy white boy eyes.
I'm telling you.
When you're hearing like we go, that's crazy white boy. Yeah, that's him.
I'm telling you, this Bucs O-line, I can't wait.
Literally. Someone should like his first meal at one Buck place. They should play a gag and just like crush up some glass and put it like in front of him. Like, here's your sandwich today. A couple of brake rotors and some glass.
You can make like the little sugar glass and you can literally eat it. There you go.
That would be funny. Absolutely. So, and the Bucs, they draft the punter, Zion McCallum, a cornerback out of Sam Houston State. It's got a lot of good skills. Obviously not a big school, but sub 4.5 40. You just don't know how these guys are going to kind of shake out and at the college level or at the pro level against some better talent. And then they drafted Andre Anthony, edge rusher out of LSU. He's got an ACL, but that's a guy that obviously anybody from LSU, they get great athletes there. They develop them well. It's just a project down the road. We'll see what happens with that. And they drafted the punter Camarada out of Camarda out of Georgia with the 4th round, number 133 overall. Maybe a little early for the punter. I don't know.
I knew Pinion was on borrowed time.
Yeah, you're making $2.8 million and you're not punting that well.
4th round picks on punters.
Yeah.
I never. I always would steer away.
And he also likes to tackle people too. It's kind of got a little Pat McAfee in him.
Pat McAfee loves him. He popped for that pick.
Yeah. So all right, good. So we got a new punter as well. And look, if he punts the way he did in college, and that's an if. Obviously, Guayo had the best stats ever in college, and look what happened there. If he can come up and he's obviously done it in big games and big conferences. There's no reason he shouldn't replicate this in the pros. That's a weapon. That's a weapon when you got a good defense. It's a weapon to flip the field like that. There's no question about it. It's important. It's not sexy, but it's important. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Greg Wolf is going to join us. Also, we missed Micah McFadden having a couple connection issues here. We're going to try to get him on at 11:30. So stand by for that. But Greg Wolf is up next with the Tampa Bay Lightning, our in-game host, going to tell us what's going on for the watch parties and also talk a little hockey. Stay with us.
The world economy is in chaos, and mortgage rates are going to go higher in the next few months. Meanwhile, home values are up 24% in some neighborhoods of Tampa Bay. Do not miss this opportunity to refinance your home, get some much-needed cash to handle skyrocketing inflation, and fill up your car. Contact Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. Even if you've recently refinanced, Scott can make the deal work because he charges no lender fees like the big boys do. He will also shop your loan around to dozens of lenders and get the best rates and terms. Let them compete for your business. The big banks charge huge lending fees. Customer service is simply a phone number with endless wait times. Scott is local and will personally take your call. Here's his cell phone number. Tell him JP said you could call. 813-294-7595. Scott's done over 3,000 loans, including many coaches and athletes. He will answer your calls and concerns and give you workable strategies to be smart with your money. Reduce your payments. It's not just what you make, it's what you keep. 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. The health professionals at Bay Area Modern Medical Center want you to know it's time to commit to a new healthy lifestyle. It's literally a matter of life and death. 42% of Americans are considered obese, and being obese made you 3 times more likely to be hospitalized by COVID. So getting in shape is not just about looking better, it's about living much longer. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, they take a very different approach to primary care. It's personalized preventative medicine. Christopher Lugo and his experienced staff are at scott@amstampa.com.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's rock.
This is FanStream Sports with JP.
All right, welcome back to JP Peterson Show, brought to you by Bay Area Modern Medical Center in our second hour. Christopher Lugo and his medical team over there will take great care of you. They spend a lot of time with you, 45 minutes to an hour on your first visit, and they will use a lot of modern techniques that he uses with the military, takes care of our top-notch Top Gun pilots, and he can take care of you as well, find out what you're eating, what your exercise routine is, and get you right. Testosterone therapy if you need it. It's modern medicine, Bay Area Modern Medical Center. That's why they call it BAMMC.com. All right, our good friend Greg Wolf is on with us. Hopefully he can hear us. What's up, Wolfie? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Now he's walking. Sounds like he's walking with his phone somewhere. Let's try again. Just to no, he was about to answer, I bet. Are you there? Greg Wolf, are you there? Greg Wolf, are you there? No, he can't hear us. I guess he can't hear us. I have a lot of hold on. One more time. One more time. Can you hear us now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can, yeah.
Yes.
I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy, freaky stuff going on in the world of the World Wide Web. I mean, it's just been weird lately. Things aren't working and whatever. We got you on now, though. What's up, partner? You ready for some playoff hockey?
I've been ready, JP. I'm born ready. I'm actually I'm giving up right now for our Street Lace Pro team. We're about to go on a heavy run today to all the sports bars throughout St. Pete, Tampa, Brandon, Carrollwood, you name it, where we've got a bunch of swag runs. So we've got like coasters and flags and everything to get all the neighborhoods ready for the big happenings, which start tonight.
See, that's how the Lightning do it. You know, everybody's like, well, how come the other teams aren't out there like the Lightning? I'm like, because the Lightning take charge and they do it this way.
Correct.
They're sending you guys out. They pay you guys to go out and do these things. They invest in the grassroots efforts to reach out to fans. And that's why the Lightning have sold out 7,000 games in a row, right?
So they obviously have partners with like JJ Taylor and Pepin, and they have their, locations that they also target, but that's not enough. They can only do so much. So that's where Street Lace comes into the play, and we get it out to the masses in like we have a whole group of crew that go out and do this. So, but yeah, you're absolutely right, JP. The only way you're going to take over the city is by showing your support for the local businesses, the neighborhoods that support you. Obviously, Lightning Made Hockey has a big part of that as well, and everything that they do to get sticks and balls into every kid's hands. If you're going to build the sport, you got to start at the grassroots level. Yeah, it's been amazing the last decade or plus that Mr. Vinnick has owned this franchise. It's never just about, let's put winter on ice and people will come. No, we got to do that anyway. We're also going to be the most fan-friendly, fan-focused organization in all of sports, which, of course, we've been noted for and awarded for. And it goes this is part of it, right? This is the behind-the-scenes stuff. Yeah. Yeah, people don't, like you said, how did that stuff, why do I see Go Bolts banners all over the cities and on sides of buildings? And why do I see all these businesses with these Go Bolts flags hanging? It's because, like you just said, it is the grassroots ground level. That's where it starts. And then they see that you're supporting them in their own neighborhood. And then in turn, they want to turn around and support what you're doing for the community as well. It's a win-win for everybody.
So what do we got going tonight for we got 2 watch parties this weekend, Monday and Wednesday, down in Sparkman Wharf, right? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we were actually out there yesterday for the official playoff pep rally to get fans geared up for the week that is ahead of us here. And it was a crazy event last night. I mean, I was shocked to see how many fans came out to play our Go Bolts bingo, which was very cool. I think fans really enjoyed that. It was not your typical game of bingo. We showed highlights and moments throughout the season as video pieces, and then that video piece would match a spot on your board. And if you got bolts on your board, you won autographed Lightning mini sticks and pucks and all sorts of cool stuff. So it was a great kickoff event for the cursor tonight, which is the official Tampa Bay Lightning watch party powered by Bud Light. Of course, I'll be out there hosting the festivities. We've got DJ Eakin out there powering music vibes. Of course, Thunderbug, the Blue Crew. There might be special guest Lightning personalities out there joining me. But that is the place to be tonight. Chairs are not permitted. People have been asking me on the socials all morning, hey, I can bring my chairs and set up my spot. No, you can't bring chairs. You can bring blankets. Obviously, Sparkman Wharf has a ton of park benches and other areas to sit and enjoy the game. But obviously, you want to get down there early tonight with the festivities kicking off at 6:30, puck drop 7:30. But yeah, you want to get down there early and stake out your claim. And there's going to be drink specials and there's all sorts of food options down there. A great backdrop to have a watch party. Some of my favorite Lightning memories of watch parties were those that were at Sparkman Wharf, which was back when it was just channel side. But it's going to be a crazy, crazy event tonight. And we're back on Wednesday as well to do it all over again.
Yeah, the weather should be good tonight. Not too hot. I don't think there's any real rain in the forecast, so that's good. But to get down there early, because what does it hold? Probably what, 3,000 or more?
No, probably holds more than that. I know that they were hoping that they'd be able to put an additional TV truck along the wharf side, but there's construction right now happening at the port, and obviously the port stuff kind of takes precedent. So I don't think there's just necessarily going to be a TV truck tonight. Maybe it changes for Wednesday, which would obviously allow for a lot more seating there along the waterway. So with the whole encompassing area, the lawn, the seating area, the garden area, I mean, there's going to be plenty of places for people to post up and hang out and watch for sure. Thousands.
Good stuff. All right. And so everything gets started, around 6:30? So get there probably 6 o'clock. Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I know people got to get off of work and you got to get the kids and all that stuff. So I would say as soon as, you get home from work, you get situated, you get the kids, that's when you want to just grab your gear and head on down.
All right. So that's the watch party part of it. Let's talk a little bit about the hockey part of it. It's hard for a team to be, I mean, the last couple of games notwithstanding, but the Lightning flipped the switch against Toronto, oddly enough, a couple weeks ago in an 8-1 just ass whooping. I'm looking forward to this because I think, Brian Bradley said this on our show today. He played 2 years in Toronto. He knows the pressure that's on these players. They had a great season. Matthews got 60, and they've got, 2 games there, and they're building that they have to win. I just think this sets up mentally for the Lightning to go in there and steal one of these games. What do you think?
If not both.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not a professional athlete, right? Neither are you, JP.
Nope.
But you have to understand there is a mindset.
Yeah.
There's a mental game just as much as a physical game, right? So like you just said, the fact that Toronto has not gotten off the schneid, the fact that your Lightning are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions who absolutely know every ounce of what it takes to get back to the promised land. Toronto does not have that experience. Great. Austin Matthews, you had a fantastic year. That's awesome. But what does it mean when it's time for you guys as the Maple Leafs to flip the switch and show us that you have that playoff pedigree, that Stanley Cup, I'm going to do everything it takes to win pedigree? We have not seen it from them, nor has their fan base. So like you said, all the marbles, all the pressure falls on Toronto here. Obviously, the Lightning know what it takes. If we win one or we lose one, it doesn't really matter to me because I know when we get back home here later in the week, we're going to take care of business. But I honestly believe that the mental game here is going to play a huge factor. Can Toronto mentally get themselves prepared for the absolute bloodbath of a battle that it's going to be this first round? And I just don't personally think they have it in them. They're going to have to prove to us that they do. But until you knock the beast off the mountain, I'm sorry, we got to go with the Bolts. I'm going to say the Bolts in 6. I do think I'm going to get 1 or 2, but I think we get it done. We win that series 4-2.
I agree with you. I called Lightning in 6. And the other part about this is the goaltending. If you have, and my partner Nick said this earlier, you have the grittier team, the more experienced team, the more physical team, and the better goaltending. In the playoffs, that's what wins. I know they have the number 1 power play. We got to stay out of the box, but if we can execute that way, I think we'll be all right.
Agreed. And I think, we have to cut down on the mental mistakes ourselves and not try to, like you said, keep ourselves in the box. We need to stay out of the box. And our power play needs to be, it needs to be as it's been the last, week or two. We need to stay on that hot streak. But again, Stamkos is heading into the playoffs on absolute fire. Kucherov as well, Hedman. I mean, you're getting plays from guys like Nick Paul. I mean, just to see the gelling of Nick Paul and Hale already. nucleus of this team. It's mind-blowing. So, again, I think all the pieces are in play. And like you said, I think Vazzy now having his confidence, winning all these games here towards the end of the season, has built up back that confidence, and that goes a long way. Because if Vazzy is the Vazzy we know in net, then I'm sorry. Every single game we have a chance to win.
Absolutely. Greg Wolf joining us here, Lightning Game Day host. Talk a little bit about this, for some people who might not have been to a home playoff game for the Lightning, or just for those fans that are listening that have been, they kind of know what to expect. I'm not privy to a lot of the stuff that our boss has up his sleeve, but we always ramp it up for the playoffs. I know that. I know we bring in almost, I think last year was like $800,000 of new equipment, which of course, you're not getting a return on investment. If you're Jeffrey Vinik, he just does this because this is what's expected in the playoffs, right?
I agree. I think that, this is not standard, normal hockey night live action here. This is, like you said, the Stanley Cup playoffs. This is the crown jewel of sports. So, yes, you do need to take things up a notch. And, yes, they have brought in the projection. The ice projection is back. I know they've beefed it up this round for lighting and the sound. I mean, it's really going to be a sensory overload, especially the pregame stuff that we do, the video pieces, the hype pieces, all of that has been worked on now for weeks. I've had a small glimpse of some of the stuff that they've been working on, and it is going to be absolutely mind-blowing. And I'm glad you touched on that, JP, because, what if I don't have a ticket to get into the game on Friday or on Sunday, but I still want to be a part of the festivities? Well, guess what? They're doing the watch parties on Fort Thunder Alley. I believe it's a $5 cover, but I believe that goes to the foundation. So you're doing good in the neighborhood. But you will have an opportunity to come down to Amalie Arena and party on Fort Thunder Alley for both the games on Friday and Sunday if you do not have a ticket to get inside. And we still, run the projection and everything up on the screen as well. So you'll still get that experience, even if you're outside. It may not be the same as inside, but you're still going to get that vibe being out on the plaza as well.
It's the best playoff deal in town. It's so fun out there, and with the weather like it is now, it's been good. So it's great. And if you get a ticket, as I tell everybody, there's nothing like playoff hockey, man. There's nothing like it being inside Amalie Arena for playoff hockey. It is an energy unlike any other sporting experience that I've experienced. And our last playoff memory is a pretty good one. From Game 7 of last year. I mean, winning a cup in your building, bro, it's insane.
Nothing like it.
Yeah.
Nothing like it. Hopefully we'll do it again, JP. I believe we will.
I love it. All right, partner, always good to check in with you. We'll do it throughout the playoffs as we go for this three-peat, man. This is going to be – I think it's already a dynasty. This will just seal the deal for the Lightning, I think, if they can do it, obviously.
Buckle up because it's about to be a fun ride.
Yeah. All right, great stuff. The great Greg Wolf right there. We'll see him at the arena and at the watch party tonight. Thanks, partner.
Go Bolts.
Go Bolts. All right, we got Micah McFadden hooked up. We're going to get him at 11:30. So we'll cruise through here to our break as we continue to go forward. But we'll have Micah McFadden from Plant High School in Indiana University coming up now, a member of the New York Giants with the 5th round pick. One of our local kids. We'll find out about his local journey to the NFL. Quick note on the NBA playoffs. Did you watch the Warriors Grizz last night? It's a great game. It's a fantastic NBA game.
I did not, though. I did not watch any NBA this weekend.
Were you busy watching? I did not watch. I have not watched one play of USFL. I can't get into it. I got too much. I got too many other things going on this spring. I got playoff hockey. I want to watch a little baseball. I'm kind of getting into these NBA playoffs. This series especially. This Grizz Warriors series is going to be phenomenal. Last night, Klay Thompson hits a huge three. He was off a lot. Steph missed a lot of big ones. Ja Morant was fantastic down the stretch again. But I thought he got a little selfish at the end. He got a little selfish. Probably could have kicked it out and give it to somebody else to make an open shot. I guess he didn't have confidence in his teammates in that way right now. But they're growing in there.
They're still a very young team. I did catch up on it after late last night. What happened? The Draymond stuff was the stuff that was getting the most circulation, being ejected.
That was ridiculous. You don't get ejected for that in the freaking playoffs. What are we doing?
I think Draymond was spot on. Which is so weird, by the way, in this age of podcast.
Yeah.
Like the game finished at like 6 something, maybe, I think. And he goes straight onto a podcast, and at like 7 o'clock, we already have sound bites from Draymond Green.
Yes.
Talking on his own podcast, and he's like, that was my reputation that got me ejected.
Yeah.
And it probably is. And I mean, but to me, that was a missed opportunity for Memphis. You still can't win the game. I'm sorry, Memphis is dead. It's a game 1, but they're dead. If you can't win with Draymond out,
I don't think they're going to win, but I won't write them off. I won't write them off.
You have to steal that game.
Yeah, you're at home. You got to get that one.
On the flip side, the team that I told you I think is on a collision course is walking through to the NBA Finals is Milwaukee, even without Middleton. What a start going into the TD Garden and just absolutely blowing out Boston.
That was a beatdown. I did not expect that, especially without Middleton. I mean, the Greek freak is he's a freak. He's a freak. He wants to dominate games. He can just dominate games.
I think he's like the new I don't want to say LeBron. I hate that. That's a lazy comparison to me. But I'm in the sense that he's the best player in the league. And I think that's consensus now.
When I was watching that game for a little bit, it gave me the sense, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. That's when I used to watch the Bulls play, and Michael would just own the game offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
When there needed to be a play made, he made the damn play, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just at both ends of the floor, he impacts the game. And when he wants to go to the hole, you can't stop him. It's almost impossible to stop going to the hole.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think like LeBron was the best player in the league for 10 years. I think we're in the middle of that run for Giannis. He's the consensus best player in the game. He has the championship to prove it. Yesterday, going in there without Middleton in the lineup, which I know you've been concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what my other takeaway from that is Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown had a nice series against the Nets. But I'm sorry, this ain't the Nets.
Nope.
This team knows how to play defense.
Yeah.
And I think that was evident. Jaylen Brown had an awful game. Jason Tatum, not much better. They're going to have a hard time scoring on Milwaukee here because the net they got a great draw against the Nets, who we learn are just the worst defensive team in the league, maybe.
Terrible.
And I think that's what Boston got a reality check. It's not going to be that easy against Milwaukee.
Yeah, Boston kind of looked like they were, the best team in the East because the way they dispatched Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But I think it says more of what Brooklyn is than what Boston is. Brooklyn's just not good. And then
it's a bad basketball
team. It's a bad basketball team.
There's a reason why they lost 11 in a row at one point. They're a bad
basketball team. And you can say all you want about those two guys, and they're great scorers, but they're not great team guys. They're not great team guys, and they're not chemistry guys. They're just ISO guys and not the best leaders in the world.
No.
And that's that you need way more than just a couple stars and Ben's.
I told you it's so easy, in my opinion, to build an NBA championship team. You don't need 3 stars.
No,
you need one megastar, an alpha. You need a co-star, doesn't have to be an alpha, but just a co-star. Yeah. And you need a bunch of Jay Crowders and JJ Redicks.
Yeah, it's important.
It's that
still
simple,
role players
guys.
are still important in basketball. You got to have guys that can rebound. You got to have guys that can block shots or just play good defense. You got to have guys that can hit the 3. You got to have guys that can distribute. You have these are basketball. I don't want to say it's the ultimate team game. We say that about every sport, just about. But that chemistry matters so much. I think the Warriors, when they were at their best, winning 73 games, they were the epitome of that. Time Lakers were the epitome of that. It just that team basketball is what wins. And
it is, because even when you had these variations of the big 3, right? Everybody talks about Miami's, but even Boston's before it. But Miami's I'm more familiar with. They had the Ray Allens of the world late in his career that could spot shoot. The Mike Millers, the Shane Battiers.
The Haslams.
Haslam.
Yeah.
Still on the damn team. Mario Chalmers. Birdman. They just had all these guys that a collective unit surrounded LeBron,
D-Wade, good at what they do.
Bosh, and that's how you win championships. The Spurs did it for 15, 20 years.
Yeah. Just be good at what you do, and it'll all work out. See if we get the schedule for tonight.
I know we got 76ers Heat is the main game tonight.
I got nothing for that. That does not interest me.
Really? Really? Why is that?
Because I don't think either one of them are gonna beat. If Jimmy Butler keeps scoring like he's scoring, they got a shot. I just don't think they have enough great offense to make it to the
championship. I could be wrong.
I think they got more right now with Embiid out. I think Embiid's going to be out he got hurt in the facial fracture concussion, so he's going to be out, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think Philadelphia can beat them.
No, I don't.
I don't.
But again, I don't think. But will Miami be able to beat Boston or?
I think they could beat Boston.
Okay.
Milwaukee without Middleton, it's going to be close. But I think Jimmy Butler is, after the first crop of stars, this might be a hot take. I think Jimmy Butler may be the 6th or 7th best player in the game. That sounds crazy.
I know.
But every team he goes to wins and it's better.
Wins. Philadelphia, Miami at 7:30 on TNT, and then Dallas and Phoenix later on 10 o'clock on TNT as well. So a doubleheader on TNT tonight. Louis, Minnesota, LA, and Edmonton tonight at 10 o'clock. And the Lightning will be on Bally's.
They're Bally's and ESPN2. I will not be watching the ESPN2 telecast. No. I'm scared to know who's announcing that. So I'll be fine with Dave. And
yeah, when I saw that press release come through that Bally's doing all the first round, I'm like,
thank God.
Yes. Thank God.
Yeah. They hyped it up today on Get Up too, by the way, which was
I saw that.
Pleasant surprise.
Gary Bettman on.
Mr. Bettman in studio. Of course,
talking about Mr. Vanek.
Of course, he's in New York.
Yeah, of course.
No shocker there.
Yeah. But he's coming to I think he's coming to the game Friday night.
Really?
He said he's coming to watch a game with the Lightning. Or maybe he said he was going to Toronto.
I'm sure he's rooting for Toronto. So,
well,
they're dying. The league is dying for a Canadian team to win. They're dying.
It's not going to happen here I don't see it happening this year.
How many Canadian teams we got in the playoffs? Just one? No, we got two. We got Edmonton, Toronto. They got a lot. Calgary's in there.
Calgary's
more than usual.
Yeah, Calgary's. They're not playing tonight, but there's a couple, and I'd say, just most people would say Toronto's the best of the bunch. I don't know. Calgary played pretty well too this year. So, first round. Yeah. So Florida, Washington. That's going to be a hell of a series there too. Is Ovechkin playing? Is he? I heard he's.
I would be fairly certain he's going to play. I can't see him not.
Okay, and then Carolina, Boston, Rangers, and Pittsburgh. That's going to be a great series. Colorado, Nashville, Minnesota, St. Louis, Calgary, and Dallas, Edmonton, and LA. Let the games begin. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Micah McFadden will join us of Plant High School, played linebacker at Indiana, their MVP, and now drafted by the New York Giants. And we will chat with him about his journey to the NFL. Stay with us. Italiano Insurance has been serving and working in our community for over 60 years, and it's not just about insuring all the pieces of your life. Italiano is as much a part of Tampa Bay as the Cuban sandwich, Gasparilla, and our Bucs, Lightning, and Rays. They're also active supporters of great charities like the Humane Society, Metropolitan Ministries, and local pediatric cancer centers. Hey, we all need insurance, so do business with a local company with a commitment to our community. Don't call some 1-800 number. Call Italiano and be greeted by one of your neighbors. That's 813-877-7799 or ItalianoInsurance.com. Named the Small Business of the Year by the Tampa Chamber. 813-877-7799. Cryptocurrency is all the rage today. The market cap for the industry is now over $1 trillion. And you read about people making millions of dollars, right? You want to get in, but have no idea what to do? Or maybe you dabbled a bit and you want to unlock the real money-making opportunities and don't know how to do it. There are over 10,000 tokens and thousands of decentralized finance exchanges to navigate. So what do? You go to DeFiLava.com. The folks at DeFiLava.com are in Tampa Bay, and they work with you directly to set up custom accounts, answer all your questions, and provide market analysis. Decentralized finance and cryptocurrencies are here to stay and will change the financial markets as we know them. Get in the game. Get with the experts at defilava.com and tell them JP sent you and get their free 2022 crypto market forecast today at defilava.com. Don't get left behind, folks. Make some money at defilava.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by Bay Area Modern Medical Center. In our second hour, BAMMC.com and Golden Diamond Source. Mother's Day is coming up on Sunday. You better get over to the Golden Diamond Source, get something nice for your wife if she's a mom, or for your mom. I'm sure our next guest has gotten something nice for his mom. Micah McFadden joins us now from Plant High School, and now a New York Giant, drafted in the 5th round, and was the MVP at Indiana last couple of years playing for the great Tom Allen. Micah, congratulations and welcome to the show. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for having me. Just really excited to be here.
So tell me about the phone call. Tell me about the moment you got the call, how the whole thing went down.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of a funny story. It was the start of the 5th round. I kind of had an idea of where I might go, but wasn't really sure. But I was sitting outside with my family, and I actually went to the bathroom. And while I'm in the bathroom, I'm washing my hands, and I feel my phone buzz like I got a text. And the head of my agency, I saw he texted me. It said, "Congratulations, I've just heard something." And then immediately after that, a phone call popped up. It said New York Giants. And talked to them for about a minute or so. Talked to one of the owners, then the GM, then the head coach, and they were all just congratulating me. I think at first the owner was like, "You want to be a New York Giant?" I was like, "Of course." So.
Do you have any affinity to the Giants at all? Have you ever had any connection with them, or were they look hot on you in the process? Did you do a visit? Tell me about the connection with the Giants at all.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny. I talked to their linebacker coach, had a Zoom call with him for about 45 minutes to an hour this past month. But other than that, there wasn't a whole lot of back and forth. And I knew they were interested just because of my agent, and he had given me a few teams that were definitely on the radar. But once I got the call, I was pretty sure, what was happening there. And, I'm really excited to be a Giant.
So tell me a little bit about your journey. From Plant High School, obviously a great program playing under Robert Weiner. And you go on to Indiana. Tom Allen, your head coach there, who has a connection to Tampa Bay. He was a high school coach here in the Tampa Bay area. I'm sure that helped in your recruiting. So tell me about when you went to Indiana, did you feel like the NFL was something that was a realistic goal for you, or what were your thoughts?
Yeah, well, coming out of high school, I definitely wasn't I think I was actually the lowest rated player in our Indiana class. I didn't have a whole lot of offers. I think 6 total. My other Power 5 was Boston College, and they actually had to drop the scholarship because they had too many linebackers commit in a short amount of time after they offered me. So Indiana was pretty much my only Power 5. I played with 3 dudes who were seniors when I was a junior at Plant, and they all went and played up at Indiana. So there was a connection obviously there, but once I got there, it wasn't like I was, expecting to go out and play my freshman year or fight for a spot on the travel roster or anything like that. But once I got up there and started playing ball, I could tell I had the opportunity to play a little bit and eventually start. So it definitely took time though.
Micah McFadden joining us here, 5th round pick of the Giants from Plant High School, was the MVP the last 2 years at Indiana. Their leading tackle the last 3 years. Why do you think you were so successful there when you got there? Was it the coaching? I've heard so many great things about Coach Allen, what a great motivator he is. And he's literally taken that program from nothing, and with yourself and a couple of other really, really good football players, some that have gone on to the NFL. You guys competed in the Big Ten as Indiana has not done in a long time. Why were you guys so successful the last few years, and yourself especially?
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I mean, what you said, it comes down first and foremost to coaching. And Coach Allen, he puts people in place around him who are going to do the job that he needs done and the way he wants it done. And, he did a great job recruiting. He's had some of the top recruiting classes in the history at Indiana since he's been there. But I think like I said, it just came down to coaching, and I had two great defensive coaches that were there throughout my career, and they put so much time investing in me and making sure not only did I know the defense and was I ready to play on Saturdays, but they were perfecting my technique each and every day, and molding me and getting me ready to be an NFL player. So I think that happens at every position group up at Indiana, and that's why we were so successful.
Micah McFadden from Plant High School joining me here. Christian Watson went in the second round from your – did you play with him at Plant?
I did. Yep, he was a grade above me.
And to see him go in the second round, going to play with Aaron Rodgers, have you texted with him? Have you talked with him at all about you two guys both getting drafted?
I did message him, yeah. And, Christian is an awesome dude. He's an even better player, but just so excited for him. Can't wait to see him do his thing. And I think he's in the perfect fit for his style of play.
What about you? I haven't really looked at the Giants depth chart. Do you? I know you're kind of slotted as a special teams player and a backup at this point, but what do you hope to do in terms of making an impact in your first year?
Yeah, no, without a doubt. Like you said, I'll probably find my way on special teams maybe this first year or so. But I definitely plan on earning a spot in the linebacker room as well, and finding a way onto the field and eventually being a starter in the NFL, whichever team that's on. But I know there's going to be great people in the linebacker room. Blake Martinez, they have a great linebacker in him, and I'll definitely be able to learn a lot underneath him. So I think it'll be a good fit.
Who do you model your game after?
I'd say there's a few people like Blake I just mentioned. I always love watching Luke Kuechly, Bobby Wagner, part of the Rams now. Just all great styles of play, tracking the ball, playing sideline to sideline. Making plays on the ball and getting takeaways and turnovers. So there's a few people in the league that I really admire. Fred Warner's another one, and Darius Leonard. Just there's great linebackers to look up to for sure.
I was reading a scouting report about you. It talks a lot about your instincts and how smart you are as a football player. How much do you rely on that, the game study, being able to – I think you ran, a 4.63, which ain't slow at 240 pounds. But, obviously the NFL game is so much about speed, and having the anticipation, being able to take the right steps in the right direction can make you faster, right? Get you to the play on time.
Without a doubt. Yeah, I think that's the most important part of the game nowadays because of how fast the league is and how good an offense can be spreading the field and getting the ball down the field. So, game study is a huge part of my game, and watching film throughout the week and just finding tendencies in an offense and being able to use that in a game is an incredible feeling, knowing what's about to come or just, having a feel for the formation and being able to make a play because of it is a really big deal nowadays.
Micah McFadden joining us here from Plant High School and now the New York Giants. So, so much I've covered so many athletes in high school and some great ones that don't make it to the pros, frankly. Things happen, bad choices happen, bad injuries happen, and it takes a lot of support. So I want to give you the floor here to talk about your family. Not only that, but your Plant family, Coach Weiner, and all the people that have helped you to get to where you are today, this dream of your getting drafted in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I would definitely love to say thank you to my family, specifically my parents, my mom and dad. Both of them work at St. Joseph's Hospital right across from the Bucs facilities.
Cool.
Both very hardworking people. My dad's a doctor, my mom's a nurse, and they both just instilled those values in me to be a hard worker, to finish what I start, and just not quitting. And I think so much of that is left out in today's society, and people are. It's so easy just to give up on something and switch career paths or not fully chasing your dream. But my parents always encouraged me that I could do what I wanted, and maybe I was naive about it at first. I wasn't a great football player when I was younger, but once I got to college and I started playing, I realized that I really could go to the NFL and play for a long time. So I'm just so grateful to them. My older brother was always a great mentor to me as well. Played football at Plant High School for Robert Weiner, played at Johns Hopkins. He works in the business field now for a boutique investment bank in Chicago. But he was another person who just really led me and brought me outside and threw the ball with me, and I would
Mm-hmm.
tackle him because he played receiver. But it's so important, I think, to have people like that in your life who pull at you and pull you to do something that you want to do, but it's not always easy to do it every day. And I'm just so grateful to those people.
Yeah, that support is absolutely crucial. And playing in the plant program, I've known Coach Wiener for a long time, and you guys have produced a lot of college players, certainly, and some NFL players as well. What is it about that program that has made guys like you and Christian so successful?
I think it starts at the top. Coach Wiener is without a doubt one of the best coaches, but also, just one of the best persons, and another dude who has instilled so much in me and believed in me from a very young age, even before I even got to Plant, because my brother played there. But I think it starts with him, and like Coach Allen, he puts people around him who can make his team better and who know football and who just want to make their players great. Another mentor I had was Coach Harrell. He was our defensive coordinator at Plant, and he's produced so many good players and instinctive players, and I think it's just because he instills football values and teaches the game at a young age. So I think that's the reason why they're so good, and they have been good for a while.
All right, Micah. So I know 5th round you don't get a lot of money, but you get a little bit of money. It's okay. Any thoughts on your eye on a new truck or anything that you want to buy first? What's the first purchase?
Haven't really decided. I'm still, using an iPhone 8, so I think I'm going to need an upgrade there here soon.
Yes.
Other than that, I don't know. I probably won't try to spend too much of it too early, but I have a car right now. It's a 4Runner, and I think one of my siblings may want it here down the road. So once that happens, I'll switch over to maybe a truck or something. We'll see.
So what have the Giants told you? You got minicamp this week. What's the first professional thing you got to do?
Yeah, so had a few just media stuff on draft day, but other than that, I report May 12th, and that'll start rookie camp, and I think it'll flow right into OTAs and training camp, and then that'll finish up June 17th.
Yeah, New York's a little different than old Tampa Bay here, South Tampa partner. You ready for all that? You ready for Broadway, all the limelight? What was the media like? Did they get after you a little bit?
No, it seemed real smooth, just all kind of, layup questions for me, but I'm really excited to get up there. I'm definitely going to need to work on my tan a lot before I leave, because I know I'm not going to get too much sun up there. So, we'll do that.
All right. Well, we'll see you at the Davis Island Beach then. All right. Hey, listen, Micah, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it. We're going to follow your journey as you go through it. So we'll look forward to talking to you down the line. Congratulations to you, to your family, to the Plant program. It certainly does take an entire team to get someone to the NFL, and you're a great representative of that effort. So we appreciate you coming on and look forward to your success in the NFL. Thanks, partner.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, JP.
Micah McFadden right there. And hopefully we'll get Christian Watson on too, and some of the other local players, because Hillsborough County had a lot of kids taken. Jerome Ford out of Sefner, Armwood program, Zachary Carter from Hillsborough High, Florida Gators.
Yeah, and Nick Petit-Frere, I believe, from Ohio State was drafted as well.
So from Berkeley.
We talk a lot about baseball players in this area getting drafted and going on to be successful, and the same thing's happening here in the NFL.
Yeah, and great programs, great coaches. I mentioned Berkeley, Dominic Sayo. Coach Thompson over at Jesuit. They've got a bunch of studs that are coming up, and a few in the NFL already. It's great. It's great to see these young men, and it really does. Having covered high school football and college football and pro football as I've had, I've seen so many great young players come along that just don't make it. It's hard for a lot of these kids to stay on track. To not make bad decisions along the way that cost them. It's hard to get to the NFL. And when you do, it's a great celebration. I mean, really, really, it's for a kid like Micah McFadden, who probably, he'll have a shot to have a long career. If he can stay healthy, this is the type of player that you can plug in, and when Blake Martinez moves on or gets injured, and you get your shot. You just got to go in there and play. You play in the Big Ten, and you're MVP of your team.
that's been very successful. And I think he was first or second team Big Ten. You can play in this league.
Yeah, and 12.5 sacks too. And that apparently I just read a scouting report before we got him on here, and that's his thing. He blitzed 80% of the time at Indiana. So that's his role. That's what he's going to do is rush the passer.
That's a great skill to have.
Which is a great skill to have as a linebacker because that's a rare thing you find in the league.
Yeah, good for him. And a huge congrats. And hopefully we'll get Christian on later on this week. But he's got for a second round pick, he's going to have a lot of eyes on him.
My goodness, he went to bed not drafted in the first round and woke up and he's quarterback's Aaron Rodgers. And guess what, kid? You're the number one receiver.
You're the number one receiver for Devon. All you got to do is replace Devontae Adams.
Yeah, for a team that's
no big
Super
deal.
Bowl or bust. No big deal.
No big deal. Yeah, don't worry. No pressure there.
Jeez, man.
Coming from North Dakota State. Hey,
he doesn't have to go far though.
That's true.
Just a little bit. What, east? A little bit. If I got my directions right.
A little east.
I'm not
heading east. I think it's a little farther than you think, but yeah,
they're up there somewhere.
They're up. They're all up there.
They're all up there.
Those states are big, man. They're not. They're not like Delaware. They're
that guy
big.
probably. But I have to think if you probably ask him, he probably was thinking, man, I was in Tampa. And they sent me. I had to go to North Dakota State up there, probably
and now
freezing,
I'm going to Green Bay,
and I don't get out of it. It gets arguably worse.
Yeah. Ugh. But hey, you're going to a place where you run a good route. That ball's going to be on you.
Yeah.
All you got to do is catch it.
At the same time, if you don't catch it, good luck getting it again. Because you never know. You never know.
You never know. All right, we'll take our final break. We'll come back and wrap everything up as we get ready for a big night. The Rays are out west at Oakland, and they need to rebound in a real way. And of course, the Lightning starting the playoffs. We'll wrap it all up when we come back. Stay with us. The world economy is in chaos, and mortgage rates are going to go higher in the next few months. Meanwhile, home values are up 24% in some neighborhoods of Tampa Bay. Do not miss this opportunity to refinance your home, get some much-needed cash to handle skyrocketing inflation, and fill up your car. Contact Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. Even if you've recently refinanced, Scott can make the deal work because he charges no lender fees like the big boys do. He will also shop your loan around to dozens of lenders and get the best rates and terms. Let them compete for your business. The big banks charge huge lending fees. Customer service is simply a phone number with endless wait times. Scott is local and will personally take your call. Here's his cell phone number. Tell him JP said you could call. 813-294-7595. Scott's done over 3,000 loans, including many coaches and athletes. He will answer your calls and concerns and give you workable strategies to be smart with your money. Reduce your payments. It's not just what you make, it's what you keep. 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. The health professionals at Bay Area Modern Medical Center want you to know it's time to commit to a new healthy lifestyle. It's literally a matter of life and death. 42% of Americans are considered obese, and being obese made you 3 times more likely to be hospitalized by COVID. So getting in shape is not just about looking better, it's about living much longer. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, they take a very different approach to primary care. It's personalized, preventative medicine. Christopher Lugo and his experienced staff are proactive in looking at your issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle. Building up your immune system, not destroying it with poor nutrition and bad habits. So call for an appointment, maybe change your primary care, and get on a journey back to full health and a happy life. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling. 844-977-3477 or to BAMMC.com. Have you purchased a home in the last 10 years and the stucco is starting to come loose from the upstairs portion? Well, that can cause some serious damage that you can't see until it's too late. Is it becoming an eyesore? Have you contacted the builder and just can't get any relief? That's very common here in Florida. So call the law offices of Christopher Palermo. They can help you. Call 813-221-5636. That's 813-221-5636. He's recovered millions for his clients. The law offices of Christopher Palermo at PalermoPA.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to JP Peterson Show, brought to you in our second hour by the Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. They're a different type of medical center. If you're looking for a new primary care physician, Christopher Lugo and his team will help you out. He works with our top pilots and works with the military. He's in the military and can work with you as well. If you're looking for testosterone replacement, that's one of their specialties over there. Something I've been doing for a long, long time and helped out tremendously. If you're getting older, guys, and you feel like you just don't have the oomph that you used to have, if your workouts aren't working because you're not building that muscle mass, you're feeling tired, a little mentally foggy, it's probably because your testosterone is depleted, which happens in America because of our environment and our food supply. It's not good, and you need to get it right. So go get your blood work done. Go over there to BAMMC.com. They will take care of you. Great folks over there. Go to the website, BAMMC.com. Find out what it's all about. Some great information on the website, and get a new primary care. Get healthy. All right. This is a very interesting story, I thought, for you tennis fans or even non-tennis fans. Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal on the same page this time, slamming Wimbledon for banning Russian and Belarusian players. Nadal said, I think it's very unfair for my Russian tennis mates, my colleagues. It's not their fault what's happening in this moment with the war. Djokovic, who was famously kept out of the Australian Open because of his vaccine status, said, Nadal continued, said, I'm sorry for them. Wimbledon just took their decision. The government didn't force them to do it. Let's see what happens in the next weeks if the players will take some kind of decision in that regard. Djokovic said, I still stand by my position that I don't support the Wimbledon decision. I think it's not fair. It's not right, but it is what it is, he said. And previously in April, he told media members in part, I cannot support the decision of Wimbledon. I think it's crazy. I'm glad that nobody else has followed. As far as I know, have you seen anybody that's followed suit and done what Wimbledon has done? I don't think I have. I was afraid that this would start a precedent of, calling for the banning of hockey players and soccer players and everything else, which I just think is ridiculous.
I was going to say on a smaller scale, the Canadian Hockey League, their upcoming draft, they're not allowing Russian or Belarusian players to be drafted.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, at least these players will get a chance to get drafted down the line, hopefully, if this wasn't going forever.
Yeah.
Come on.
And it's estimated to impact probably around 20% of players, which is about the average from those countries that get drafted. So we're left
you
out.
just look at the impact of Russian players in the NHL. It's very significant.
Get to the NHL draft, and you're going to see how different it is.
That's crazy.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. I've never understood. Is this not? I think Billie Jean King said this, by the way. Is this not a form of discrimination?
Oh, of course it is.
But this is not discrimination that we're willing to talk about, apparently, because it doesn't sell, or what is it?
I mean,
call it what it is. We're literally like, I can't even put it into words correctly, but I think you know what I'm getting at. It's literally the government that's doing this, right? That probably all these players don't even like or anyway, but are kind of hand strapped and can't really speak out against it.
Well,
and why are they the ones that have to suffer?
Oh, you mean the Russian government?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, these players have nothing to do with these decisions. It's an unpopular war in Russia by all accounts, as we can tell. I mean, obviously, state-run media, you're not going to get these huge, but there's, there have been accounts of protests, that are brutally set down, by the way, in Russia. This is what totalitarian governments are. You disagree with what's going on as they send these young Russians into battle in a completely unprovoked war. The damn soldiers don't want to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just all war is awful.
Yeah. And I know it shouldn't matter about how good the player is, but I mean, it doesn't sit well with me that the number 2 overall player in the world is not going to be at the premier event of tennis, and that's Wimbledon. It doesn't sit well with me in Medvedev, who probably is the co-favorite along with Djokovic to win the damn thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit well with me. That's like name big golfer not being able to play at the Masters because he's banned for something his country did. It makes zero sense.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all. back to the Rays. They will take on the A's tonight as they start. What are they? Oakland, and then
Oakland, Seattle, and Los Angeles Angels.
Yeah, and they're currently 10 on the season, so it's not the worst thing in the world. It's probably a better start than they had last year when they won 100 games. But this just doesn't seem like last year's team.
No, the one thing for them is at 12 and 11, they're still sitting in
11. Yeah,
they're still sitting in a playoff spot because the rest of the AL has gotten off to a slow start for the most part. Of course, though, in the AL East, 3 teams over 500, including the Rays, which we know that's going to be a dogfight. Tonight, I'm hoping to get, if we can get Rasmussen of last week, that would be awesome.
We need to.
And
need to see it tonight.
Facing a guy who, frankly, I have never watched pitch, Dalton Jeffries, who I'm sure we'll get to know. And they're
number 65,
number 66, 66, Dalton Jeffries. My goodness, what I just keep thinking on a Monday night, the Rays coming into town. There's going to be like 2,000 people there.
It's going to be brutal.
This is going to be hard to watch.
Yeah.
This is going to be pandemic baseball.
It is. It's going to be bad. But a good chance. Well, but the Rays, Oakland took 3 or 4 here. And they're 10 and 12 on the season. They're not doing well.
Yeah, but it's been what we were thinking about them.
And Josh Lowe gets sent down to Durham after he hit his first home run this weekend. But they have to trim the rosters by 2. Somebody else has got to go. So I guess it's going to be a pitcher somewhere.
I mean, does Fleming have any more options?
Yeah.
Somebody tell me he does. Maybe Robert Duggar goes right back down after eating up 5 innings.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah. This team doesn't feel like it has much punch, but everybody is struggling offensively. Now, Wander's struggling. Randy Arozarena had 2 doubles yesterday, but prior to that was 2 for 29.
Choi's on the IL now.
Choi's on the IL. I mean,
Yandy's bat's been coming around. I'll give him that. Taylor Walls' bat has been pretty good. Zanino, I thought he hit the home run this weekend.
Yep,
hoping that
finally
sparked something from him. He is off the COVID list. That's what they need. They're doing this loud Rosarena being basically just guys in the lineup, and when that's your leadoff guy and that's your 3-hole hitter, you're not gonna score many runs.
Nope. Lightning tonight, 7:30. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's ready to go. It's going to be on Bally Sports Sun and ESPN2. Bally Sports has the whole first round. Watch party tonight at Sparkman Wharf. Bunch of different places to watch it over there. I'm sure all your local bars have it on as well.
Of course.
So get out and enjoy your fellow Lightning folks. I know Irish 31 here in Hyde Park is going to have it on. They're having another, and I know they're having a watch party on Wednesday, but also I think tonight as well. So wherever your local, Bubba's 33 out in Brandon. I don't know where I'm going to be watching the game tonight. I got a lot of work to do, but I may just hunker down and watch both right here at home. It's me and Tally.
I'm going to be in my bed, probably with some wings in my lap.
Yeah,
and that's
I might go down. I might go down because Sparkman Wharf's so close. I might go down and take in a little bit of the watch party tonight, just to see all my Lightning brethren out there. Could be fun.
I'm not a Sparkman Wharf fan, so I'm gonna stay away.
No, I can walk down there with Tally. It's not far, so
I liked the watch parties that used to be in front of Amalie. I liked those a lot.
Yeah,
and I liked the Curtis Hickson ones.
Yeah,
because it's a bigger space. I think Sparkman's a little tight for my liking.
Well, Sparkman, but they also give lots of food options. You can go different places, and so it's a little better than just the alley there. They have the Cigar City, but that's about it. All right, that's a look at the local sports. The Bucs are going to have a mini camp, I believe, later this week. They'll have their rookies in, so we'll be all over that as well, and welcome in our new class of Buccaneers. Our thanks to Greg Wolf, who joined us today, Lightning in-game host, and of course Micah McFadden, who is now a New York Giant, and hopefully we'll get some of these other local kids on, local young men on as the week goes on. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at FanStreamJP. You can watch it there every day. And at the JP Peterson Show as well on Instagram and on Twitter. Have a great day, everybody. Go Bolts. Go Rays.